Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Okay. And we are back with another episode of Socratic Gamers.
I should give you a hint.
Yep, this is not your weekly roundup, not your movie review, not your book review. This is a new segment we like to call Socratic Dialogue.
Yeah, we're going through different...
Yeah, we're going through little changes. We figured out a new way. If you watched the last episode, the intro told you that we figured out a more efficient way to run these podcasts. So, like, prior to this, I would just, like, take the file, render the file.
So much work.
Yeah, add a bunch of stuff, re-upload it, export it as audio. Like, there's so many steps.
And if things go wrong, like, what was... The issue with the other one was too long, so it was like
longer. 5 gigs.
It's too long of a process.
Yeah, for sure. So we figured out Vish figured out a more effective way to get this job done. So you're gonna see a few changes, and the first change will be this one, which is our Socratic dialogue. So basically, instead of talking about 4 things like a weekly roundup, we just choose one thing that we are super interested in at that moment, and we just talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, in case you didn't know, we're going to talk about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
What better way to bring Socratic dialogue to life than with the greatest show of all time?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, we're not going to talk about the whole show. We're just going to talk about the first 2 episodes because they're the most, like, salient in our minds. And depending on when we release this episode... I guess the 3rd one will be out.
Yeah.
But we could always do a Socratic dialogue on that one. Yeah, so what do you think, Vish? First and second episode.
First and second episode. I thought they were...
wait, let's talk about independently.
Okay.
We'll talk about
first
episode 1 first. Yeah.
All right.
Go.
I think it was great to see them all again after more than a year.
True.
These characters, I mean. Like to see some of them who never met each other for, like how many seasons ago, right?
True. Yeah. Well, work together, technically.
Well, technically, yeah, but it's like to see even them cross paths or meet each other, like.
Yeah, true. Like, so you're talking specifically about.
So in the first one, mainly, I think it's like Arya meeting. She met the Hound, right? Was that in the first?
Was it in the first? No, second episode. Was it? Maybe.
I think they did have a little encounter. Yeah, when she was in the, when she went to give Gendry, like her.
Oh right,
thing.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. True.
It's like, because he left her to die. So many seasons ago.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see their encounter for a short while, because there's a lot of different characters, so it was like it wasn't like they like, since we're only talking about the first one, but it did kind of like expand into the second one too, because there's so many different characters. But the other thing that popped out to me in the first one was how reminiscent it was to episode 1.
True. Okay.
I don't know if you caught that.
No, I didn't catch that. No.
Because
for the record, you're more of a Game of Thrones fan than I am. So.
Right.
That's probably why I didn't catch that.
Maybe. Like, the reason why, when everyone is coming into Winterfell, like that was, if you remember, I can talk back a little bit about it. Like the first episode when Bran likes to climb, right? And he was the one that climbed up to the tower, and he's the one that like saw as
Jaime and Cersei.
No, not that tower. That was at the end of it. Like in the beginning, he was also climbing. Like that's when we knew that he was like he likes to do those sort of things as a kid.
Oh, cool, yeah.
And then he saw as the king was coming in to Winterfell.
Oh, and then they showed the little kid. And then they showed
climbing. The kid in the beginning climbing up the tree to see a better vantage point of this whole army of people. This is more people now than.
That's funny. I didn't catch that from I was like, why is this kid climbing? Why are we focusing on this kid? Who is this kid?
Right. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was all about reminiscent. But again, this is so many years ago that, only if you've rewatched all of it to get ready for this one,
right?
Like my brother did, so then you would actually see those similarities.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what else did you think of it.
I thought it was pretty good. It was nice to be back in that world. So for me, it wasn't really like nostalgia, I guess, from like the first episode. It was just nostalgia in general because it's been so long since that show's come about.
Yeah.
I really liked Tyrion Lannister. He's like my favorite character.
Okay.
Yeah, he was cool. And then was that in the first episode or the second one where Jaime shows up?
He shows up at the end of the first episode.
And then they're like
And
trying
then
to figure out.
that continues on in the second episode with grilling him as to why.
Oh,
he's-
okay. So that's what I want to talk about. So, yeah, first episode was all right. It was cool, like little intro into it. Second episode, I actually really liked because it was very human. Like a lot of things happen in that episode.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of things happen in that episode. Like big not controversy, I guess, because like she's old now, but.
Okay. What?
the chick. What's her name? Arya Stark.
Okay.
Her little lovemaking scene there.
Oh, that one. Actually,
Was that first? No, second episode.
that was second episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk about that?
I'm just saying, it was a prominent point. You were like, oh, all right.
Actually, no,
We're hitting that point right now.
So yeah. So again, we're not. So yes, that was one thing I felt weird because you grew up with her, like when she was really young. So I think a lot of people felt weirded out by it.
Yeah, I saw her like little comment. My family watched it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
think, yeah, whatever.
If you think
I'm still calling that was CGI or a body double.
it wasn't a body double.
Oh, it was not a body
It
double?
was not a body. I was going to tell you that. Yeah.
Say word.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
Oh, God.
It was all her and.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
Wow.
That's because that was going around too. The same thing that you were saying, like, oh, it's body double or something. And then it came out like it was not.
Wow.
And it
then.
was up to her to how much she wanted to show, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So the creators were like, it's up to you. You don't have to show anything, or like how much ever you want to do. And then she.
Wow. All right. That's a total perspective change on my part. I was like, oh, it's not that bad. It's probably just a body double. Now it's a little weird. Anyways.
So that's what makes more sense when she said it on the thing.
Yeah. And I guess the other big controversy is Jon Snow told. When the first episode, Jon Snow
Being told, yeah.
was told, and then Jon Snow told.
Tells, yeah.
Yeah. What's her name? You'd think we were bigger fans. We could remember their names at least.
What's her
name? Dracarys lady.
Daenerys.
Yeah. Whatever. She's Dracarys. But yeah, so that was kind of cool that he finally told her. So everything's becoming like unveiled.
Right.
So
I think they had to do that in the first two episodes. I think some people felt in the second episode it was again more reuniting, like
yeah, for sure.
But it was like I think you need this. You need both of these episodes like this because now the next three are like longer episodes, and the third one is now the actual start of that war. So
that'll be. I
think we need to get more of these characters because I think possibly a lot of them will be dying off.
Oh man, that'd be crazy to see. My favorite part of the second episode was when Brienne. Yeah, she got.
That knighted, yes.
Yeah, that was a sick scene. Like she got misty eyed, and I was like, damn.
I got a little bit.
She like finally got her way. She's probably gonna die.
Up, yeah.
All right, so
I think that's what about. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think they gave her a good send off, and then she's going to die in this episode. I expect lots of deaths. We're gonna watch it tonight. So yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one.
It'll be super interesting. I'm excited.
I thought it was with the Jaime entering was.
There's only 6 episodes, right?
Yes.
So this will be the third. We're halfway through.
Yeah. After the third one's halfway through. Yeah. What I liked really was like when Jaime came at the end of the first episode.
Yeah.
And his actual first meeting up since that first episode of Game of Thrones. Him having eye to eye with
the kid
with Brandon Stark.
Yeah.
Which was I like the quick pan to him as he like a little bit shocked or like, oh shoot.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
seeing him for the first time, and then, or for the first time since then, and then, in going into the second episode, you forgot that how much he's actually been involved, or what he did what actually affected Daenerys' life, basically, which was killing the Mad King, and then they had to flee. So that was something I forgot. Like, but again, it was like bringing back to that. Oh, right, that's what happened.
Oh, and she never encountered him until this season.
Yes, that's right.
Man, that's crazy. But we've been seeing him the whole time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we know like his transition from where he was, where everyone hated him, to now how much everyone likes him.
Yeah.
That this is what he's. This is what they're showing.
She doesn't know that though.
She doesn't know that what we no. Yeah, she doesn't know what we know.
Exactly.
But who knows that would be who vouched for him, Brienne.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that the reason why this show is so impressively good is because it reminds me of those like multiple life shows. Movies.
Yeah.
Like Crash.
Yeah. Okay.
What's another good one?
Oh, you mean like
Babylon?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like where there's
yeah. There's like multiple stories going on,
and then they intersect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably why this. Like, why is this show so good?
I think it's that. Yeah, I think it's these. There were so many characters that we could.
And you could latch onto one of them.
Yeah.
I think the finality, like no, not the finality, the randomness of people's deaths is what makes this show so appealing.
Yeah, I think it's because they had like so many characters that they could do that.
Yeah.
Like so many characters that you actually like fell in love with, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they could actually pull on those heartstrings of yours and take them out.
Yeah.
And that was what worked. It's like there's a lot of there's a lot of shows that have a lot of characters, but if they don't have good story behind them, it just becomes like too convoluted of a story, and then you get lost in it.
Yeah, you were saying.
Right. So it's really hard. Like, it's really interesting how they've done it in Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
That I think that's why I liked it a lot. That there was so many characters that I ended up liking, and then they would easily take them away from you. And then I remember when the biggest ones were when the whole the Stark family killed off in that Red Wedding, and how everyone's like, oh, I can't watch this again because they
Right. Yeah.
But then people will always come back because there's someone else you ended up liking, like Daenerys, all the way till now.
Right.
Yeah.
So who do you think's gonna die?
In the next one?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Brienne. It's what it seems like.
I'm gonna say Jamie.
Jamie could, so that Tormund can get with Brienne.
No, Brienne's gonna die.
Yeah. Oh, and Jamie.
Yeah.
So both of them will die together.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know who else. And another thing was, in that crypt, I was wondering, because they can raise people from the dead, and they're all hiding out in the crypt. Is there bodies in the crypt? That's what I'm thinking. And
Bodies? What do you mean bodies?
Like the burials.
Maybe, I don't know.
Then wouldn't that be the unsafe place to be?
Oh, true. True. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if something is going to happen with that or not. Like, how long does a body have to be
decomposing?
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Do you think Cersei is going to change her mind and show up at the last minute?
No, she's not going to change her mind. I think that they the story is still with I think that they just have to get rid of the Night King. I don't know how this is going to work. Because I don't think the Night King is the main thing. I think it's still the people that are involved making.
Oh, so you think, wouldn't it be crazy if they die and then they kill the Night King in this episode? And then we're all like, what are you going to do for the last 3 episodes then?
Right.
What if the Night King dies in this episode, bro?
It's 80 minutes long.
Wouldn't that be nuts? Because they're like, all we have to do is just kill the Night King and then everyone else is dead. That's what they said. That's what John said.
Yeah.
So imagine if we're all hyping ourselves up for this giant war, it ends in this one episode. Where do you take the show from here?
Well, now it goes back to Cersei. Now it's the. But then again,
It could be a bait and switch.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it, because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they could be making us all overly. It's like a magic trick. You're
Yeah.
overly focusing your attention on the Night King, and then boom, all of a sudden,
Yeah, they're still hiding away. Like there was in the second episode, there was no Cersei at all, right?
yeah. Oh, I'm excited now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
So does this show beat? Does this show beat Battlestar for you?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is your favorite show of all time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have to say, aside from anime,
Yeah.
this is definitely my favorite show, like human portrayed show of
Yeah.
all time.
I remember like when I first showed it to you, and you were like,
You sold me on it being not magical.
"Yeah, I know," but it
And I was
wasn't
like-
though.
I was like, okay, it's not magic, whatever. But then the reason why I like the show personally is like it
Yeah.
gives you so many lessons on like economics
Oh yeah.
and like governance.
Yeah.
You know, I guess character, like moral character, but that's why I look to anime and stuff for moral character. But
Right.
in terms of like how to strategize and stuff, like, because they always say like business is like war, right?
Yeah.
So when I watch these kinds of shows, or like,
Mm-hmm.
it's very like enlightening for me.
Mm-hmm.
Educational, not enlightening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then you're like, oh, like that's a pretty like when they do those like twists and then somebody else is behind something, you know the biggest shocker for me was when you find out that Littlefinger was the one who orchestrated everything. He's the one who set everything in motion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like,
Well, yes, yeah, that was true.
because
yeah.
it's like you never thought about that.
Yeah.
It's like why did this all begin? It's like, yeah, Littlefinger, because he was jealous of friggin' Ned.
Yeah.
And boom, now we're here. It's sort of like that
Yeah.
topic we talked about for the weekly roundup, fractals.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like,
Like where did it all start? Or-
yeah.
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 I thought it was. Trying to think of if there's anything else that popped out to me. I think what's like outside of the episodes that we were watching these behind the scenes things.
Oh yeah, I love that they do that. That's really cool.
I think they're doing that especially for this season since it's the last one, and they have
Right.
each one. It's about 20 minutes long. I think people should check it out. It's really good.
Hmm.
Just how they film these things are really amazing. I gotta say.
For sure, yeah.
And where they're like, there's a lot of money involved, especially like going to actual locations and doing these things. And I think it's actually paying out for them because they've been breaking records. So it's really really good to see it have a huge success like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought. I don't know where it like.
Are you gonna do me a spinoff?
I think so. I think that they are doing already. I think they're already working on one.
Well, one of my the thing I like about anime, like short running animes, like 24 episodes, is like Cowboy Bebop,
Yeah.
Samurai Champloo. They're all like finite, like Kenshin. But I haven't finished Kenshin because there's like so many episodes for that one.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like I don't like derivatives.
Mm-hmm.
You should just stick to the one story, finish up. We're all good.
Yeah. I don't know what I think the rumors were like they would focus on that first war, the Mad King. More about him, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember what they finalized on. They might they might not do well and they might cancel it, but
Which would be kind of a shame.
I-
It's
I-
like
yeah.
one of those UFC fighters
Yeah.
that's like amazing and then they like start declining.
Right.
You should stop when you're on top.
Well, I mean, this is where does HBO go from here, right? This is their
True.
biggest show ever.
Yeah, where do they go from here? It is their biggest show ever.
So that's I'm wondering where they go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll only find out when the season is done. Can you believe that this show lasted? How many years has it been going? 12 years?
Almost 9 or 10 years, I think.
9 or 10 years.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy to think about.
And then, I mean, we saw all of them grow up.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of them, it was their first ever,
Show.
acting career.
And I think it's also really cool that like those two got married, like Kip, Jon
Kit
Jon
Harington?
Snow,
Yeah.
yeah, and like so like they were like lovers in the show, and then they got married. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah, that's
that.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you have any final thoughts on this episode? Predictions?
I think we kind of add that already, like who's gonna die. But
Yeah, but like, what do you think? Like, what do you think?
I don't know. I really don't like.
Think it's to be
I think
solely on the war.
for all 80 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that's a lot.
that is a lot.
That's a lot to do,
But
especially
if you split up, like I couldn't see them spending the war for the next 4 episodes. 4 episodes? 5 episodes? No,
Yeah, it's
4
four
episodes. Yeah,
episodes.
last 4 episodes. I couldn't see them spending 4 episodes on a war. People get bored.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like for a show like this, I like to just be surprised. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can have like simple ideas, like, oh, I think, but
Right.
I generally just want to be, let them take me on this ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like that, so I'm just going to guess.
You can guess.
All right, so it's going to be a 2-episoder war,
Okay.
and 2 people are going to die in this episode, Jamie and Brienne. And then the next episode, 1 person's going to die.
Okay.
The war's going to end.
All right.
They're going
Well,
to kill the Night King, and then now it's about Cersei for the last 2 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm calling that. All right. So that is the end of our first Socratic dialogue. Expect more episodes, different versions, different thoughts and ideas. So till next time, take it easy.
Peace.